So here is a batch of scalpels that I've been working on today. They're nice and sharp. And yeah, I haven't really actually tested myself to see how many I can do in a full day. Because I usually, in the mornings, I spend the first few hours actually doing all the social media stuff and videos and thinking of like planning the day and stuff. Still a little bit of grime on these from the workshop. But yeah, here they are. So I think I once did like, how many was it? Like 10. But I did the sheaths the next day, so I wasn't able to really like know how many I can actually do in a full day. It's a lot of steps, you know, so you got to grab the blanks, grind them, water cooled grinding, then you got to polish everything, then you got to, and that alone, oh, not only that, then there's like all these micro steps, like I got to go on another grinder just to like remove and smooth and stuff. So actually I got to take the blanks, then I got to chamfer all the corners so there's no sharp corners along the entire profile on each one. Then I grind the edge, Scandi grind, zero grind basically. And it's water cooled grinding. You have to, otherwise it overheats. Because these are hard, especially because these are hardened steel already. Then after that there's polishing. Then there's these. After that, you got to put all these on. And after these are all put on, there's, as some of you might know, this one's pretty grimy, this one's pretty used. I think if I cover my face, maybe it picks up the, see there's a few layers of string there. I had to actually change, because the supplier for the original waxless string disappeared, didn't know where it went, so using a power cord, like a micro nano power cord or whatever. So I had to change that up a little bit on each one of them. That's 4 layers, 2 knots, couple drops of glue. Then after that I can start wrapping the handles on, and that's with the, you know, some, let's see if there's any, just the power cord itself. And in order to do that, so for the whole length, this is somebody, I was training somebody how to do the power cord, the wrapped handle. You got to do that on each end. All right, you got to actually like cut them and then burn them like pins so they fit through stuff. After that, you glue the front end of the power cord, the middle of the power cord, the front where this is. So you see there's the string underneath. You glue this one all the way around, this first layer, you glue that all the way around. And that's just to add some strength. And then you start wrapping the whole thing. And then you get to the end here, and you still got to make the knot. You got to glue that knot in place. And then you got to start adding drops of glue, glops of glue, all the way around there. And then you're still not done. You got to make sure that no damage has been done to the whole thing while being made. I have these caps that I put on while I'm wrapping the handles. And then after that, that's when the sheath work starts. So got to get the oven on, put the cut up, yeah, and all the kydex has to also be cut up into the correct size before I can even, you know. So, and then I got to choose which colors and what, and then I put them in the oven. Then I clamp them, wait a few minutes, pull them out, drill a couple holes, cut off the excess, polish the surroundings, and then make sure that they clip in and out properly. And then if they don't, you get the heat gun out and you make some adjustments. And then after all that is done, I gotta make the lanyard for each one of them so that you can have it around your neck. So usually I only do the lanyard after it's been sold, because, you know, it's to make like 30 or 40 or 50 lanyards, you might as well just spend a day doing it, do 100 or something, and then you just have a box or something full of the lanyards. But anyway, these are a little bit grimy still. if you can see. They're very sharp. It's just the nature of the Scandi grind. That's what I love about Scandi grinds, is that they bite into whatever you're cutting into, and they slice right through. So, and they're pretty easy to sharpen as well, because you basically only have one surface to go on the stones with. So that's kind of neat. Like this one, I've gone on the stones with a couple times. I use it so much, even when cutting things that have glue on them, that sometimes there's going to be like drops of super glue stuck close to the edge and stuff. You can actually see it on this side. I don't know if you can actually, right there. And then this grime, that's from the sauna and stuff. But often I'll just go on the stones to polish it up, and it's just, two surfaces that I do it on, and it brings it back to life, but it also, cleans it up a little bit. I haven't done it on this one, but it's pretty simple and easy to just work on one flat surface. And a lot of the stones I use, they're not like perfectly flat. I'm just like, going at it. But one nice thing with ADC RV2 is that it's actually kind of easy to sharpen. It's not like stainless steels that can be kind of difficult. And not only is it quite easy to sharpen, you have quite a small blade, and that helps a lot. Even like a pukko, that's like, with a blade like this long, when you have a full Scandi grind, it can take a while to sharpen. It's the same with the Kisakis. If you get a dent on one of those edges of a Kisaki, I need to get back into that project at some point, but if you get a fat dent on the edge, you knock it into a nail or something, it's gonna take you a long time to clean it up and sharpen that edge and put some life back into it. So, but it works really well with this. I've tried doing single bevels with the Scalpels, but it doesn't, for some reason, it's just not willing. For some reason, it doesn't really work with this design. I don't know what it is. I think it's the tip. I don't know what it is, but the single beveled versions, I didn't bother making more of those. But yeah, so most of these came out really well, super nicely. I'll be just, for the next couple of days, I think I'm just going to be like cramming as many as I can. Just make a whole bunch. Because I need to ship some. There's stores that there's only 20 here, and 10 in each store. It's not a lot. So I need to spend the next few days kind of just doing as many of these as I can, so I can ship these off to the stores and deal with customers that are willing to that are waiting for some. Somebody just got a Coyote Brown, and somebody else just ordered one of the carbon blacks that I mentioned earlier today. So, but let's see if I can grab one of these out here without damaging the edge. They stack pretty nicely. The edges don't interact with one another. This one wasn't actually that good. This one's okay. This one's pretty good. There's still some dirt on it. It's just some some compound. I use the very, very coarse black compound. That's very clean. Get those fresh grinds all the way up. So even as a full steel blade, it would kind of work. But one thing, I don't remember exactly how I said it in the previous video. I said that I would have like a full steel version that are like super cheap. But they're not going to be the nice ones. They're going to be the ones that failed. Like, for example, this one where the grind went way over the choil, So those will be like the full steel ones. Because there's no point in me hanging on to these. And I can't sell them really at full quality price, and finish them. There's no point in me putting a handle on these. So, and the thing is, there is really no difference in their performance. They're basically completely identical. It's just, I don't want to have 20, 30 random blades like this laying around for no reason. So I might as well put like a, $5, $6 price tag just to pay for its existence, because it's 3 euros for the plasma cutting, 3 euros for the heat treatment, and then, well, the belt, and of course, but I don't know exactly how much of the belt price would go into this exactly, but just to cover some costs, you know, because it is, you know, for example, like a basic kitchen implement that you just hang on the wall or something. You got a little string there, whatever. You just want to cut something, whatever. Somebody wants just, you know, to do their own handle or something to it. I mean, a friend of mine came over. I trained him how to do the handles, and I showed you guys a couple example here, and we can actually just roughly go over this. Let's see. You can barely even tell. So this one was his first go, and you can see there's a lot of space and a lot of gaps. Not bad though for a first go, you know. Okay, I was here telling him what to do, but not bad. Apart from missing, you know, he's a few gaps. Apart from missing a few extra knots, it's not so bad. And then I don't remember. Let's see. Wow, that looks amazing. I think this was his second go. Let's see. I have another one here. I think he did it 4 times or something, but one of the times we removed. I think this may have been his second go. This was his second go, and not bad at all. It was actually quite good. And this was his third go, and look at that. Oh yeah, so he only really fucked up the front here, and there was a little bit of extra space here, but for the third go, that's pretty darn good. You could get away with that. I wouldn't be able to sell this, but if you were doing it for yourself, you could definitely get away with this. And then his third go, just perfect. So it took him 3 or 4 tries to get it basically completely right, which is really like phenomenal, really stunning. 4 tries. And over a span of 3 days, he just chilled here. He brought his caravan pickup truck caravan thing. And he came here to learn how to do this from me. And I wanted to learn how it would be like to train others. So it was kind of a good system. And he's a chef too, or a cook. So we were eating some delicious fucking food. We had it was apple cider vinegar, pineapple juice, marinated lamb fillet with some other herbs, and it was fantastic. Absolutely crazy what pineapple does to meat. Just totally freaking amazing. But this was his last attempt, and then he went home and he's done a bunch of his own handles now, and he knows how to do it. So it is pretty daunting. It is pretty difficult, but once you've done it, once you've done it 4 times, it should, you know, he did pretty well on his 4th time. It was basically perfect. And, you know, it's what was I going to say? It's just tedious. It's not like hard. And a lot of knife makers, they really like charge a price up for doing pretty simple stuff on their knives. I mean, a lot of, you know, the quality of some of this paracord wrapping that I have going on, like on these Scalpels, is significantly superior than a lot of very, very expensive knives that you'll find from the makers markets, you know, like these online, Instagram and stuff like that. You know, people are trying to charge like $200, $300, $400 for handles that are significantly more amateurly done than these Scalpels. So there's a lot of bang for your buck in these blades. I would honestly, one of my curiosities is I really wonder how much would a company like CRK2, if they made the exact same thing, how much would they charge for the exact same thing? Like if they were selling this product, how much would CRKT actually sell it for? That would be super interesting to know. How much they would sell a product like this for. I don't know. I can't do that kind of mathematics. This was the fudged one. But yeah, this is like 21 of them. So still a little bit of stuff I gotta take off. There was a couple of them had some rust I still gotta take off. Yeah. Oh, I hurt. So, but it's just the nature of water grinding everything. So, that's all there is for it today, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta get back to work. I think what I might do with these is actually, at some point, maybe not today, I'm a bit tired, but I'll go like live. And then live, wrap the handles at the same time. So I'm basically, I'll just like be doing the handle work on these here at the table live. And then y'all can tune in and watch me do it. And then if you have any questions about actually how to fucking do it, I can be there to show you and tell you right up, because it is really easy to do these wrapped handles. And traditionally speaking, the Japanese katana guys, the samurais and stuff, they would change their handles once a year. They would get their handles wrapped, rewrapped. It was like a Christmas tradition, basically, to just get their handles rewrapped. So, yeah, that's the kind of idea, you know, that you can do that. You know, you can basically, whenever you want, redo your handle. You know, once a year, just sit down and rewrap your handles on your rivet lock picals, rivet lock pulcos, your rivet lock whatevers, and your scalpels. I mean, the scalpel is much more difficult because this hole is kind of tiny, and it's a super long handle, but like it's super difficult compared to like rivet lock pulco, where you have tons of space. And one of the ideas with the rivet lock pulco, of course, the whole point was that this one of the points, this part of the whole point of this design is that you can do your own safely. You don't have to hold on to the blade. You can have the sheath on while you're wrapping that handle. You see, like that handle is on there. I mean, the sheath is locked into the blade it's on a full steel product. You don't see this really, like it's very uncommon. You do have many different types of knives out there that have this function, but they go about it very differently. And you know, you can very safely wrap a handle on there without damaging the edge or cutting yourself. And it's the same with putting scales on and stuff. You know, as much as I would like to do a lot of scale work on these knives, there's a lot of other things I can be doing, like making more of these. So I'm kind of forced to not being able to actually do scales unless it's like a custom knife. Which is just unfortunate. But it's so much work and hand sanding. Like I'm not gonna, you know, spend the whole afternoon hand sanding a piece of wood when I could be forging, you know, a whole batch of these and stuff like that, and just stack these up and then do the paracord handle when somebody wants one. You know, and then there is, of course, the benefit that it's super slim profile when you got this rivet lock. It's actually slimmer profile than the picals. No, sorry, you see? Even the scalpels, the sheath makes it a wider knife than these rivet locks. So, but yeah, that's kind of the idea, you know, that you can redo your handles. Although it's not really actually, if I think about it, it's not really as realistic to do it with the scalpels, because the locking mechanism on this is kind of dependent on the wrap being done a certain way. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to take me a long time before I choose to redo the handle on this. And as long as you're not cutting cheese is the only thing that'll make it smell. That's the only thing I've ever noticed with any of wrapped handles from CRKT or my own knives and stuff like that. It's the only thing that'll make your handles smelly. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's the only thing that'll make your handles smelly is if you cut cheese. There's something about the bacteria in cheese that just spreads over the steel. So, but yeah. That's it for today, guys. I'll catch y'all later. I'll try and do a live at some point. I won't try. I will do a live at some point where I'm wrapping some handles around these, and then you guys can tune in and ask questions about how to do the wrapping. Because it's really, in my opinion, it's a survival skill. Being able to do a katana wrap like that, you can do it on a baseball bat, you could do it on anything you want. you know, and it's super, you know, it's pretty basic, so why not learn it as like a basic skill, and then you can, you know, when you're looking online to buy a knife from some place or a full steel knife, you can be like, you know what, I can actually just wrap a handle on this myself, you know, like it doesn't even have to apply just to knives, it can be like a hammer or whatever. I'm just coming up with random examples. I don't know anybody that wraps. Oh, you could do, you know, those like cold steel combat axes, for example. I tried to do it on a 1911 pistol, but it didn't work out so well. It looked really cool though, but it just was really difficult to finish it. So, yeah, one of them in here has a pretty heavy burr here. Gotta take that out. This one's got a burr. Fresh from the factory. Yeah, it was actually right there. So I'll see you guys later.